When rejection is not properly dealt with, it can leave scars visible for the world to see. That's what I want to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about rejection. Again, a lot of things that I talk about are going to be quite similar if you listen to them. Like if you've listened to dealing with your traumas, and then if you are going to now listen to rejection, they all kind of coincide. It's like a match made in heaven. And if you can merge these and understand them, you can get a deeper feeling and understanding on how to deal with these situations. So let's dive right in. Dealing with rejection. I feel like this is something that have all gone through. It's something that we have all experienced, and we have all taken it in different ways. Some people deal with rejection and kind of brush it aside, carry on moving. Some people deal with rejection, they acknowledge the rejection, they're hurt by the rejection, and they just completely cut themselves out of that relationship or that experience. Some people deal with rejection where they become very angry and then they don't invite anybody else into their life. Everybody deals with rejection very different, but it's really important to understand the fundamentals of rejection, because if you can do that, then it better stands you in life to deal with rejection and understand that rejection is not a negative thing. And I think this is probably something that I'm going to rein in heavily when I speak about rejection today. In rejection is extremely important for growth, and you should invite rejection into your life with both hands and hug it with love and kisses, because rejection is what enables you to truly change and to truly grow. It's important to understand rejection and be at one with it. So let's dive right in. I like to talk about myself because at the end of the day, I'm speaking from a lot of my experiences. And growing up from a young kid that was very, very loyal, very, very loving, and I'd give my heart, to anybody that, was willing to take it. What I didn't realize was that people would take my kindness for weakness and slightly abuse this. I would then push harder and I would get rejected. And this was just a run on thing. What ended up happening with me was I hit a stage in my life where I couldn't take rejection anymore. It was too hard for me to take. So I completely cut myself out of any social environment. I completely cut myself away from pretty much everybody that was around me. And I did me. I just did Jay. And there was pros and cons to that, and I'll dive into the pros at first. The pros were I learned a lot about myself. I learned how to be around myself. I learned how to enjoy my own company. I learned me. And that doesn't mean that I'm a complete version of myself. That just means that I learned how to be comfortable going places without anybody else, because I didn't have anybody else to go with. So there was many pros for me, suffering from a social environment of rejection, which has pretty much held me in good stead to this day. I think there's many times in my life where I'm a-okay to be on my own. I would say a lot of the times I'm a-okay to be on my own, but also in a social environment, I thrive, and I'm really happy to be in a social environment. The negatives to that were there was many social experiences that I didn't get to participate in. There is not lifelong friends that I've had from a young age. I have lifelong friends now, but there's not lifelong friends. You hear, oh, it's been my friend since I was in school, or we've been friends since we were toddlers. I do not have that. So there was slight negatives to that. But I'm gonna indulge in and I'm gonna talk about rejection and how it felt for me. So taking that initially, it felt like heartbreak. And I suppose in a way rejection is heartbreak, because people, or if you're applying for something, or if you're going for something, or if you're striving for something and you don't achieve it, it is the universe's way of saying, actually, you're not going to have this is not going to happen for you. And I think, depending on how much you put on that particular thing or that particular experience is dependent on how much it hurts. So I like to think a lot of the times that rejection is like heartbreak. And I feel like heartbreak is one of the most powerful emotions that a human can feel. I think it's very, very similar to a death. And I feel like when you feel that pain and when you feel that run through your body, it kind of rolls back onto you, and it's up to you to kind of accept that as something that you're going to deal with and grow with, or whether it's something that you're going to push to the side, carry on, being that person you are, and just, in the hopes that you will attract what you're looking for in life. Two things now. It's important that when you get rejected, that you go back to the drawing board. Self-reflection is absolutely key to growth. And I feel like through rejection, if you're able to constantly go back and look at yourself and acknowledge that there may have been slight imperfections in your approach to whatever you went for or whatever you was doing or whatever relationship you was growing, then that enables you to grow yourself and be a better version of yourself walking into the next relationship, walking into the next interview. This is fundamentally important, I believe. The next thing I was going to say, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's you if you get rejected. It just means that at that particular time, in that particular experience, maybe that wasn't for you. And I have this really refreshing way of seeing things in life. If I approach someone, if I push to start a conversation, if I go for something that I'm striding for in life and I don't achieve it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, I'll continue to knock at that door. I will continue to bang at that door. And if at the end of the line it isn't for me, or if it doesn't happen for me, I understand that it's the universe's way of saying that at this time or at this moment, this is not for you. And that's okay. I feel like that's the biggest thing in this world. I feel like we constantly feel like pressured into having to achieve something. And if we don't achieve it, then we're a failure. You're actually not. You have to understand that in life, different experiences you grow from, and different experiences and different rejections will set you up for wherever you're going in life. The key thing is to carry on pushing and banging at that door. So invite rejection into your life as something that is beautiful. I feel like we take too many things in this day and age and we make them negative, stress, anxiety, depression. This is just off the top of my dome. But we make so many of these things negatives. They are actually amazing positives if you look at them in a different way. If you look at rejection as an extreme positive and something that you're going to take on board and work on, then I promise that rejection will turn into a beautiful air of love. And I know, I get it, like sitting with rejection is such a hard thing, and being rejected by anyone or anything in life isn't an easy thing to take on board. But if you can go toe to toe with rejection and invite it into your life with open arms, and I promise you that rejection will turn into big thumbs up and a lot of love. Love, peace. Just remember, in life, if the universe says that they're not for you, or that person isn't for you, or that experience isn't for you, doesn't mean to say that it isn't for you. It just means that you need to go back to the drawing board and assess whether that's for you or not. That's the key thing. A lot of us are banging at the doors trying to create relationships or be in relationships with people that are not helping us and are not bringing any value to us. So they are rejecting you for a reason. They're saying, I'm not good for you. leave me alone. And you're saying, no, but you are good, but they're not, because this is the way the world is. The world is beautiful. It has a way of telling you that these people are not for you, and to leave them alone, and to go and create relationships with people who are for you, who are going to uplift you, to go work in industries or go stride for something that is going to work for you, is going to sing to your heartstrings, sing to your passions, and make you feel elevated every second of every day. One last thing, if people don't uplift you, if your friends don't uplift you, if they don't make you feel motivated, if you don't do the same, if you're not in an environment where you feel passionate, driven, and motivated, then you need to find a way of assessing the situation and coming back and dealing with the situation, because rejection is a beautiful thing and something that you should invite with both arms. Love, peace, have an amazing day. You already know what time it is.